Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. Alright, welcome back to the part 3 of the Let's Play of Aftermath. I did want to touch on a couple of things. Two things are I really need to pay attention more to our items that we already have, because Messiah, his toothpick crossbow, when defeating an enemy with a 5 or more defense, I would have gained 1 scrap each time, and so I think I did that at least once. So we need to remember that, and also we need to remember that with Grumple, with her steak knife, when she is fighting a leader or a boss, she gets a +1 in addition to her +1 there. So a couple of things to remember. Always hard to forget all the little bonuses and stuff in these kinds of games. I also wanted to touch upon a topic here about the encounters. So far in the 2 scenarios that I've played on camera, both of our encounters have been combat encounters. However, there are also non-combat encounters, and it's really cool the way it works. So if you look at the page, a lot of pages of the story side here will have these E1, E2, and E3. And each one of those represents a kind of a non-combat encounter that you can have. And the way you encounter those is with the encounter deck. If you were to draw one that said E1, then you go to that passage on your story page and you have that encounter. So let's just say, for an example, let's say we hadn't drawn this. Let's say we had drawn E1, and I'm just going to give an example. Oops, sorry about that. Just give an example of what can happen in a non-combat encounter in this game. So this says, you hear soft squeaking noises and look about. Scampering across a soggy stretch of old cardboard, you come to a small nook created by 2 chunks of concrete slab. Crouching in the shallow recess is a muddy, half-starved field mouse with a feral look in her eyes. She brandishes a piece of jagged glass as a weapon. Behind her are 2 wee pink babies squeaking with hunger. If you have at least 1 food and offer it to her, go to 45.5. If you back away and move on, go to 45.4. So let's say that we did have some food for her. We would read this passage here, we would lose a food, and we would gain a population, and then the situation would become safe. So there are all kinds of different random non-combat encounters that can happen in this game. You guys know how much I love those. And I love the way that this card system works, because you may look through this deck and say, wow, there's not really a lot of encounters, right, for the entire campaign. But this one card here, this E1 card, can actually represent dozens of different encounters because of the way it works with the storybook. And that is super cool. I love that system. It's I think it's an intuitive and creative way to use one card for multiple things. And it's super easy to expand too, because you could come out with an entire book that is just full of different encounters, and E1, and then you could roll a die or something. And so yeah, very cool way to have different encounters. I just wanted to show that, just in case we don't get to see one of those organically through the play. I wanted to point that out. Anyway, so yes, we need to get to Injo here. Now, if we look at the map here, right here, we have we do have an exit space here. But if we read that exit space, it just says, you can only use this exit if the situation is safe. When leaving by this exit, move your party to an adjacent space on the travel map. So that is not the way to progress our mission right now. We need to get to Injo here and figure out how to get those Funyuns, the onion snoodles that we need to get to beat this mission. So let's go a brief overview of our campaign dashboard here of our settlement. Okay, 0 clues found. We have 9 scrap. We have 5 morale. We have 8 population. We're down to 7 food, and our time is almost maxed out for us for this mission, the allotted time. All right, so we're going to start with Grumple here. We're on a new page. And I am trying to figure out a way that, even though this game doesn't take up a lot of space, it's oddly hard to film. I think it's just kind of like the shape of the book and board. And so I'm kind of experimenting with different ways to get this on camera while we play. So we have these Meeklings out. That was our encounter. Grumple here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 cards for Grumple. Now we can, at the top of the round, we can discard before we draw, but I don't think we're going to do that. And if you look at the board here, we have some green lines and some red lines. So there's kind of like 2 different ways you can climb up to this to Injo. You can take like an agile way, or you can come over here and kind of take a strength way. So what I think we're going to do is I think we're going to send Grumple. Well, we should really try to take out those enemies. Let's see here. All right, Grumple. I don't really have very many good attack cards. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and spend a 2 to move Grumple 1, 2. Okay. And then I'm going to initiate a combat, a melee combat against the Meekling leader. I think we have a leader out. Yes, we do. He is the little Meekling with the circle base is the leader. So he has a defense of 6 that we need to beat. So I'm going to go ahead and initiate a combat with him with 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to get my +1 for that. Another +1 for attacking a leader, so that's a +2 plus his innate ability. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7. And now let's roll the dice here, the skill dice. And oh no, I'm having, yes, I know I've said it a million times, but I'm having the worst freaking luck with these dice on this playthrough. So I do not hit him. That was a disaster. So we'll put him back up, and that leaves Grumple in a terrible spot. So I was gonna send Messiah up to get these clues right now, but I think we're gonna have to have him do some attacking. So he only has 1 card, so we need to draw 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what we have. Okay, so there's 1 threat. So we are going to put that threat over here underneath the leader. All right. So this is good. This is good because now we can use these green cards for ranged attack. And let's see. We're going to try to, I'm going to pick off the non-leader. I'm going to pick off the regular Meekling, I think. And I'm going to initiate that attack with a 3. And I'm going to add a 1. So that's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. 7 to 5. I need to hit a 5. 7 minus 1 is 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. So I tie, so I do hit him. Again, these dice almost screw me. But we do hit that Meekling, and he only has 1 health. And so he is going to be taken off. Bye-bye, little guy. All right, so what else should I do here? I think we're going to leave Grumple there. I'm going to go ahead and spend my other green to move up to this spot there and hold on to that red 1. All right, so we've taken both of our turns. Now we're back over to Grumple. Check threat. Actually, at the end of Messiah's turn, we do need to check threat. And now, since we only have 1 card, 1 enemy card, and it does have a threat token or threat card underneath it, we are going to take an enemy turn here. So let's see what that Meekling leader is just going to attack Grumple here because he's already in range and he has a 1. So he's going to do a challenge. The bookkeeper becomes marked. All right, let's see what happens there. So Grumple was the bookkeeper. So marked. Effect. When activating an enemy, move it toward and, if possible, target this character. This character cannot benefit from hiding spaces. Remove when you receive a wound, or you leave the map, or the situation becomes safe, or another character becomes marked. Okay, so that's not too bad. And then he's also going to do his attack here, which is at a 5. So let's see here. I have a 2. Plus my 1 is 3. Okay, so 3, 4. 5 minus 2 is 3. So we successfully block his attack. Finally, these dice work in my favor. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5 minus 2, 3. Yep, okay, we're good. So we don't take any damage from that. So he goes back to the top of the threat there. This threat card and this card here get put into the discard. All right, so now we are back to the top, and now it is Grumble's turn. So he has no cards right now, so we need to draw 5. And what do we get? Okay, there we go. We got another threat, so we're gonna have to put that over underneath the leader again. So he is gonna get to take a turn if we don't. Oh, nope, I should have drawn one. Oh no, Messiah had that red. Sorry, never mind. All right, well, once again, let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna use this as a red 3. And I'm gonna match that color with that red 2. So that's gonna give me 5. And I get to add my 2 for my steak knife because I am attacking a leader. So that's 7, 8, 9. So 9, I need to hit 6 or up. And there we go, finally. Okay. So we do take out that leader now. Discard that threat. Discard both of those. And we have successfully solved that encounter, which means that we get, as loot, we get 2 scrap. So that's gonna, our scrap, that's gonna take us up to 11 scrap. I do have 1 red left, so I am going to go ahead and send, oh, we have, there's a 2 here, which I should have read, so let's see what that says. You kneel to get a drink from the puddle, but Whisper stops you. It's poisoned, look. And she points at the rusted remains of a crushed luxury sedan nearby. When you see what she is pointing at, a thick green fluid of some sort is leaking from the old wreckage and into the puddle, tainting the water. Even in their absence, the corrosive mark that humans left upon the world has endured. Retrieve mission card 3 from the Discovery deck and add it to the bottom of the mission deck. Oh, crazy. All right, so we need to go to the Discovery deck now. This is kind of like our Legacy deck, and we need to look for mission card 3. There it is. So we're going to add this to the bottom of our already existing mission deck. And let's see what that says. Crawling threat. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's an encounter. Wrong card. Let's put that guy back. And mission card. We need these green cards there. Toxic water. Okay, that sounds more like it. So there are a good number of cards that you're going to be adding to your campaign while you play, which is really fun. Toxic water. So this is the main mission, and take a look at that real quick if you guys want to read that. Cool. So we're going to add that to the bottom of our mission deck. And now I'm going to go ahead and spend his 1 red to move up that red line there in order to try to get that clue 3 next turn. Okay, so now we're on to Messiah, and I really want to try to get those clues there. I have 1 red. I don't really need this, but Yeah, I'm going to discard that. So I'm going to draw 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And okay, so we're going to add this 2 threat up here. No enemies. And luckily, I did get some yellows, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 worth of yellows to try to get that. So I need a 2 or higher. So I got a 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this one here. And that is going to give us 2 more scrap, bringing us up to 13 scrap. All right, and you know what? I might as well use this also as a yellow and try to get that again. So I need a 2 plus 1 is 3. Got it. Excellent. And 2 more scrap, bringing us up to 15. We're doing good on scrap. Now we need to just find places to use it. And you know what? I think I'm going to spend this green 1 on another movement. I'm going to move up here. And there is a point of interest icon. So that's going to be point of interest 3. Let's see here. If this is your first time on this page during this campaign, read 45.6. All right, 45.6. You press yourselves flat against the cool concrete slab. Holding your breath, you sneak a peek over the edge. From your vantage, you spy a gecko warband, clear as day. They are well armed and organized, sneaking through the shattered land, hunting. It seems like forever, but they finally pass. Okay, gain 1 clue. Okay, so we're going to put our clue up to 1. And then it says, retrieve encounter card 12 from the discovery deck and add it to the bottom of your encounter deck. Interesting. All right, so encounter card 12. Let's see what that is. There we go. So encounter card 12 is called the Lizard Expansion. They reclaim the world and build devices that allow them to strike hard and fast. Patch's words still echo in your mind. So it's scaled ones, but you're going to get some better loot when you kill them. You're going to get some items instead of just some scrap. So we're going to add that to the bottom of our encounter deck there. Okay, so now we are back to Grumple's turn. Now hopefully Grumple has 1 blue, but I'm going to discard that in order to draw 5 new cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I really want to grab this clue token of 3 there. All right, so that didn't really help us, but we are going to add this 1 threat to the 2nd spot on the threat track. Now, we do have some 1s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this white as a yellow, then I'll match with these 2 blue. So that gives me 3. And then we're going to roll the white die here. 3, 5. Excellent. All right, finally some good luck with the dice. All right, so this is our first 3 search, and we find 3 scrap. Man, we are just like, we're going to max out on scrap. I'm up to 18 scrap already. And then finally, well, no, Grumble has this red 3. I'm going to keep that just in case I need to do some combat. So now we have to do our check threat. If we have 4 or more, we read the surge text there, but we don't. We have 2. So we are back to Messiah, who has 0 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what do we get? All right, so there's the Calamity. So let's see. Yep, that happens right now. So Calamity is on a 6+. So let's see what we have. We have 4 time. So then we roll this. And okay, so we hit a 6. And this says encounter, the hunt, situation, if enemies are in play, hostile. Okay, so we actually survived this unscathed because there are no enemies in the hunt. The hunt is another fascinating mechanism about this game. It is possible, very possible, to leave a map with enemies still on the map. You can, you're not ever blocked from moving into or out of spaces or from leaving the map if there are enemies on there. However, if there are enemies on the map and the situation is hostile, any enemies on the map go into this hunt box. And it's kind of like they're chasing you from location to location. They're hunting you. And so in some scenarios, the enemies that you've run from are going to come back to get you. That is super cool. I love that. But anyways, okay, so we need to move. We're going to go ahead and spin this one to move here onto the Injo space. And we're going to read entry number 1 here. All right, Ringer is frustrated. Okay, we're here. Now, how do we get inside? Grumple brushes some dust off, and you press your furry faces against the pixel glass to peer inside at the treats. Look, I think I see cheesy crunchums. Oh, and is that a bag of onion snoodles? Squeaks Messiah. Even Grumple, who prefers fresh veggies, wouldn't turn down an onion snoodle or two. You frantically search the machine for a way to get in, but the only opening is buried under the rubble. If you are on mission 1, which we are, check that, mission 1, raid on Injo. Go to 45-2. All right, 45-2. Moving the rubble requires a strength group task. I think that's called strength. Again, what is that? Yeah, strength. So we need a strength test. Only characters on this space may contribute to the test. So what we have to do is we have to basically contribute cards to a group test, and we're going to keep track of how many we get. We have to get 10 in order to move that rubble away from Injo so we can enter the machine. So Messiah still has these cards. So I do have a red 2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place that here, and that's going to bump our group task up to 2. All right. So now we need to check threat. We only have 2. We don't need to encounter the surge. And it is now going to be Grumple's turn. Grumple has 1 card, and so I'm going to draw 1. And now I have to shuffle the action deck here. All right, so we have 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1 more to add to the threat. We're up to 3. Okay, we do have 2 red cards though, but we're gonna have to cross this green line going this way. All right, so I'm gonna spend this blue to move 1. I am gonna go ahead and spend this 3 because I have to do 3. Well, nope, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spend, oh, I can't. Yeah, I'm gonna spend this 3 to move across that green line there. And then I'll go ahead and contribute this 2 to the group task, bringing us up to 4. All right. So that is all of Grumple's cards. We need to check threat. We have 3. So we don't need to place the surge yet. So Messiah has these 2. I'm going to go ahead and discard those. I'm going to draw a full hand of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. The first thing we do is we do the calamity. There are no, I need to flip this back over to safe right now. Encounter the hunt situation. If enemies are in play, it becomes hostile. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing to hunt, so the calamity doesn't happen. We do place this over here, so we are going to have to surge this turn. And now we have these cards here. And Messiah is going to go ahead and just spend this 1 to contribute 1 more to the group task, bringing him up to 5. And now we need to check for threat. So we do have 4 here. So surge plus 1 time. Okay, so now we're maxed out at time at 5. If there are enemies in play, the situation becomes hostile and resolve an enemy turn. Otherwise, discard all threat cards from the threat track. All right, so not bad. So the surge on this one is more about time because that really works out thematically because we're like really struggling to clear out this debris and do it in a timely manner. Okay, so that was Messiah. Now we're back to Grumple. So now we need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, there we go. So I can contribute 2 more to the group task. This threat goes to the top of the track. I will contribute 2 more there, bringing us up to 7. And he'll hold on to those. Now we're back to Messiah. Messiah has 2. I'm going to go ahead and discard those to draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And no red cards. I believe I can use wild cards, but let's see here. Group tasks. Group tasks are similar to group tasks. The whole party by adventure players. The first card contributed must have the symbol matching the group's task associated. Slot that card. Yep. Then all subsequent contribution cards must match the color or number from the first card. Oh, so you can match the color or the number of the first card. So I have a 2 down as the first card. So I can contribute this blue 2 to that. All right, to bring us up to 9. And can you only contribute, I might have been playing that a little wrong, a little loose on that. It says you can contribute action cards, so I can contribute more than 1 in 1 turn. So Messiah is also going to go ahead and put in this 2 here. And that brings me past 10. So, all right. So we are good. And now let's see, success. Each character that contribute puts their influence card into play. Insight or special interest space 1, which we are at, becomes an exit. And when leaving this exit, go to page 47. Excellent. So we get to put our influence cards into play now. And our influence cards are like they're just a special action card that is now in the deck for the rest of the game, or the rest of this mission. And each one is associated with a certain character. And those go right into our hand. So we're going to put that with Grumple, and we will put that with Messiah. And now we're going to go to 47, which this is really cool. We are now like inside the machine. There's these springs that like push the on the old vending machines that spiral, and your food always gets stuck. There's a little mechanism down here. We're in the dungeon of Enzo. And so we're going to stop there for this time. I will set this up on the next episode. So, all right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, I'm having a ton of fun with this game, even though I know I'm making quite a few mistakes, but you guys are at least getting an idea of how this game is played, and like the variety of the mission, or the maps and the encounters and everything. So, all right, well, I hope you're enjoying this, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.